Welcome to this lecture, JavaScript Essentials Required for React. In this lecture, we are going to completely understand about filter method. In our last lecture, we have seen completely about map method and also we have worked on multiple examples. If you have not watched that video, I suggest you to watch that because once you understand map method, then it will be easy for you to understand all the concepts inside reduce method and filter method. And these three methods are very important and they are also called as functional array methods. So using these methods, whatever operations we perform on arrays, it is not going to change our original array. It will not be mutating our original array. They are immutable in nature. So in this lecture, we are going to completely understand about filter method. Before understanding about filter method, just think for a second, by this word, what you will understand. Filter basically means filtering something. So using this filter method, we are just going to filter. Okay, it is as simple as that. Let me show you one simple example. Here I have one bucket and inside this, I just want to collect water. I am having water, but inside that I am having both solid particles, that is dirt particles, as well as water. So to filter this, what I will be using? I will be using funnel, and inside this I am just going to add that water. So this water is a mix of dirt particles as well as water. Now using this funnel will be treated as my filter method. Using this funnel, I am just segregating both my dirt particles and water. After this, what happens? Water will be filtered and only water will be collected inside this bucket. So I will have only water. Whatever dirt particles I am having, that will be filtered out. I can easily throw them once I am able to segregate my water from this dirt particle. This is what filter method will be doing. Using filter, we are just going to filter our array. And it is not going to change our original array. Suppose I am having this array 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And inside this, I just want to find greater than 4 numbers which are greater than 4. So what I will be getting? This is not matching. This is not matching. This is also not matching because 4 is equal to 4. So my resulting array should be having 5 and 6. Then second one, if I just want to find even numbers, so 3 will be filtered out and also 5 will be filtered out and I will be getting the result as 2, 4 and 6. So using filter method, we are just going to filter the elements from an array and whatever condition it is getting matched, that will be our filtered array. So in JavaScript, filter method is used to create new array. So as I mentioned earlier, it will not be changing original array. Whatever filter we are going to apply and the result which we obtain, that will be in the form of new array. Our original array will not be affected. And what that new array will be containing? Elements which are satisfying the condition, those elements will be present inside the new array. And this filter method will be iterating through every element inside the array and it will include only those elements which will be meeting the given criteria. Okay, criteria will be given by us. Whatever elements we want to filter out, that criteria we will give. Basically, logic we are going to give. According to that, elements will be filtered. And this is the syntax. We have this original array dot filter, how we have used for map. Same way, instead of map, we are going to use filter method. Inside this filter method as well, we are going to pass callback function. And this callback will be having three arguments. Element, that is our current element. We have index, which will be giving current index on which filter is being applied. And then it will be giving the array on which we are working. And finally, we have second argument for our filter function, that is this argument. And this index array and this argument is completely optional. If you are not using, then also no problem. Basically, this argument is nothing but an object to which this keyword can refer in the callback function. So for arrow function, this will not be having. So you cannot use this keyword inside arrow function. But if you want to use a normal function, then you can easily use. But let me tell you, as of now, I have not used this argument at all because it is completely optional and most of the time you will not be requiring this at all. So you can completely ignore, as well as index and array argument also you can ignore. But in some cases, this might be helpful. And if we are not giving this second argument, that is this argument for our filter function, then it will be referring to our global object. That is nothing but our window. So anyhow, it is referring to window. So you do not have to mention this argument. But still, it is a part of our syntax. Practically, let us understand this filter method. I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Here I am having my browser. Inside this, I have opened my console. First, what I will do, I will just create simple array. I will give numbers. And inside this, I'm just going to give some numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, simple array I have created in which I have assigned some values. Now what I want to do, I just want to filter even numbers. That is, my resulting array should contain 2, 4 and 6. So what I will do, I will create one variable, new array is equal to my original array. Original array is nothing but my numbers dot filter method. Inside this, we have to pass callback function. Callback function, let me just write here, even numbers. Okay, this is my function. I have just written my filter syntax. Original array dot filter. Inside this, I am passing callback function. Now I am going to create my callback function. How I can create? Function, function name. This callback function will be having three arguments. First is our element. That will be our current element for every call. Second will be our index. And third will be our array. As of now, let me just pass num. And inside this, what it should be returning? If this number, whenever we are doing modulus of 2, it should be equal to 0. Whenever number is divisible by 2, then only we have to filter and we have to make new array, and inside that all elements should be present. I will just log this new array. Save. I got the result as 2, 4 and 6. I will open. I have got this new array. Inside this, I am having 2, 4 and 6. Let me tell you what happened. Whenever we are using filter method and when we are passing this callback function, here how we call normal function, after calling we should be adding parenthesis, but here we do not have to add parenthesis. Directly, how many elements I am having inside the array, that many times this callback function is going to run. First time, it will be taking 1 as its current element. This will be executed. It is not divisible by 2, so this will be filtered out. Then again callback function will be called because I am having all these elements. So for 2 it will be called. 2 is divisible by 2. Yes, it is. So I will be getting this result. Then for 3, then for 4, then for 5, then for 6. So totally 6 times this callback function will be called. Why? Because I am having 6 elements inside my array. So based on my array element, it will be called automatically. So for every element, manually, I do not have to call this function. It will be called automatically based on the elements present inside the array. Now if I just write here 7, 8, let me write here 7, 8. Now just tell how many times this function is going to run. it will be running for 8 times. Save it. Now you can see for 8 is also present inside my array, but this function has been called for 8 times because I am having 8 elements inside my array. Okay, you can write like this, or there is another way of writing this. Same thing, I will copy, and below this I am going to paste. Instead of writing this function name directly, you can copy this entire function, and inside this you can just paste. You will be getting the same result. This is also a valid syntax. But most of the time, whenever we are performing only one line of operation, we will not be using our regular function inside this callback function. So by chance, if you want to use this keyword, then you can use this normal function. But most of the time, you will not be using this keyword. So you can directly go with callback function and you can execute the result. So same thing, I will just write using arrow function, paste it here. For arrow function, we do not want this function keyword, and also we do not want this function name. Directly, we are passing this argument. Then we will be using this arrow symbol. And here I'm just using curly braces because here I have mentioned return. Now I will save. Again, I will be getting the same result. But in our arrow functions lecture, we have already understood if we are having only one line of operation, then we do not have to include this curly braces, and also we do not have to include this return keyword. So what we can do, we can remove this return keyword, and after that we can just remove this curly braces. So this entire thing we can just bring in one line, and also remove semicolon from the end. Save it. Again, you will be getting the same result. This is how we have simplified our function from this to this. Okay. Only in one line you can perform this filter method and you can get the result. Now let us find odd numbers. I will just write here odd numbers. How you will perform? Let me copy. Below this I will be pasting. You should not be checking if it is equal to 0. Directly using modulus. Suppose I am having 1 modulus of 2. What I will be getting as my remainder? I will be getting 1. 2 modulus of 2, I will be getting 0. So that will not be included. 3 modulus of 3, I will be getting remainder as 1. So that will be included. Save it. Now you can see I got the odd numbers as 1, 3, 5 and 7. So for even numbers, we will be checking whenever we are dividing if it is equal to 0. And for odd numbers, we are just using this num modulus of 2. If you just write here, if it is equal to 1, save it. Then also you will be getting the same result. You can either use like this or you can just simply write like this. Now if I just want to find numbers greater than 4. So what I can do, copy. Below this, I will be writing one comment and I will just write number greater than 4. So what you will be writing? First, same thing. Instead of this one, we are just writing greater symbol and I will be writing 4. Save it. Now I got only 5, 6, 7 and 8. If I write number greater equal to 4, then 4 will also be included. So this is the new array. It will not be affecting this numbers array. Let me print log. I will write numbers. Save it. My numbers array will remain as it is. It will not be affecting my original array. Let us understand the example. Now imagine this is my array. Inside this I am having 20, 30, 40, 10 and 60 as my elements. Now I am going to apply filter method. And what logic I am going to apply? Number greater or equal to 40. So it should be including 40, 50, 60, etc. First, my current element will be 20. This condition is not getting matched, so it will be filtered out. It will not be taken inside new array. Then 30. Again, this will be checked. 30 is not greater or equal to 40. So 30 will also be filtered out. Then 40 will be checked. This condition satisfies. Then 40 will be included inside my array. Then 10. 10 will be checked. 10 is not greater or equal to 40. So 10 will be filtered out. Then for 60, it will be checked. 60 will meet this criteria. So 60 will be included inside this array. So my final array will be having 40 and 60 as its element. So this is my new array. So elements which are meeting the criteria, only that will be included inside the new array. And filter method will be called for every element present inside the array, and it will be going in the sequence first 20, 30, 40, 10 and 60. It will not be calling for random elements. It will be going in the sequence and it will be executed in sequence itself. Now let's work on our cartoon data. I have pasted. Inside this I am having array. Same thing. We are having two objects. But here I have given is it to be false. And also I have added one property, that is episodes. You can see here I am having episodes. Now what I want to do, I just want to filter the data for which episodes are greater than 400. Now inside this array, I am having two elements. First is object and second is also object. Two elements, so two times filter method will be running. So what I will do, I will just write here const. I will create one variable, cartoon episode. And inside this, my original array is nothing but cartoon data. Dot filter. My filter method will be running for every element. So here, let me just write here data. That is my argument, current element argument. Arrow function. So first time, this will be my first element of the array. My first element of the array is nothing but an object. So from object, what I want to access? I want to access this episodes. So how we will be doing? So first time, this is object dot episodes. Whenever we want to access object properties, we will be using this dot operator. If this episodes, if it is greater than 400, only then access the element. I'm just going to log cartoon episode. Before saving, let us see this. So first time, this data will be my first object, and from this object, what I am checking, if this data dot episodes, if it is greater than 400, okay, first element is not matching the criteria, so it will not be added. Second element is also an object. So object dot episodes greater than 400, yes it is. So this entire object will be my new array. Save it. Now you can see inside this array, I am having only one object. I will open, and inside this I am having ID number 2. ID number 2, and also let me show you episodes are greater than 400. Now if I add another one, copy, I will just write here. I will just mention ID 3, and here I will be writing 550. So this should also be included. As soon as I save, inside array, I am having two objects, ID2 and ID3. First one, 410 episodes, and second one, I should be having 550 episodes. So only elements which are matching this criteria are included inside my new array. Most of the times, I have seen people asking, whenever we are looping or whenever we are iterating through an array, why we should not be using for loop. Okay, using for loop also, we can iterate through array and we can display the data. But let me show you what happens. I will comment. I will be writing for, and inside this, I'm just going to write let I is equal to 0. I is less than cartoon data dot length. This will be giving length of an array. I am having two elements, so my length will be 2. and each time I just want to increase the value of I. I will just log, and what I want to log, cartoon data, and inside this I will just pass I. Save it. Now I am having three elements. Okay, whatever elements I am having inside my cartoon data, using for loop, I am able to access. First time I will be having 0, it will be accessed. 1, it will be accessed. Then for 2, it will be accessed. So basically, I am having three elements. So my length will be 3, not 2. So accordingly, all the data will be displayed. But if you see here, this is one complete object. This is one complete object. This is one complete object. Why? Because inside my array, I am having three elements and all elements are object. So that is the reason we are having first element as object, second element as object, as well as third element as object. Now when you are using for loop and if you are displaying the data in this way, then this entire data is not wrapped inside arrays. So as it is not wrapped inside the arrays, you cannot perform additional operations like map method. You cannot do additional map method. You cannot do filter method, as well as you cannot apply reduce method. So these methods are array higher order method and it can be applied only on arrays. So for objects, you cannot use. So when you want to perform chaining, suppose if you want to use filter method, and again if you want to use filter method, then this is not possible when you are using for loop. So you should always be very careful why we are not using for loop to display the data, because it will be preventing optional chaining. So now let us understand what is this optional chaining. Now same thing what I have mentioned, copy, and here I am going to paste. So here what we have done, we have just taken the elements. You can see here I got two objects. So cartoon data episodes which is greater than 400, we have just taken that. But here I just want to take if it is aired on television or not. Here I will write Doraemon 1 and for this I will make it as true. First one will be false and second one is true. I want to check both the conditions. It should be greater than 400 and also is 8 should be true. Only then I want to access that object. So what I can do? Again, I have to use filter method. I will remove. After applying this, I got this new array. Now on this array, I am going to apply filter method. So whatever I am performing this filter method I am applying on this cartoon data array. Whatever result I got from this, that is this 2 array. Now on this 2 array, I am going to apply this filter method. Filter, and inside this again I will be passing data. You can use data again. Okay, you will not be having any issues. But for more readability, you can add any names here. I will be writing data dot is aid. Okay, if this is satisfying, if this is true, only that object I want to select. Now as soon as I save, you can see I am having only one object and that is ID3, and inside this is aid is true. So this is both greater than 400 as well as this property is also true. So that is the reason only one object is taken. Here I am having false, so it is not taken. Suppose here this is false, then no element is matching the criteria. So what I should be getting? I will be getting empty array as my result. Okay, nothing, length will be 0. Let me just make it as true. Okay, this is very simple. First, what I have done, I have just accessed the cartoon data for which episodes are greater than 400. Once I got the array, once I got my result, on that result I am checking if this cartoon data is aired on television or not. If it is yes, give me that. If it is not, just ignore that. Okay, just filtered out. Filter is very important method whenever you start with your React journey, because almost all the times you will be using this filter method to filter out the elements and get the desired result. Okay, not only filter, after this filter, we can also use map method. Okay, in our last lecture, we have seen map method. So let us apply map method for this. Now what I want to do, this is my first element, second element and third element. So from this array, I will be checking if this array is including Doraemon or not. If this is including, I will be selecting the object. So this will be selected and then this will be selected. So inside array, I will be having two objects and that will be my final result. So whenever we apply map method, in our last lecture, what we have mentioned, after applying map method, the final result array should be having the same length. So for this two arrays, I will be applying map method and I will be accessing this created by property. Let us see how to do. Let me comment this. I will be creating one variable. I will just give my variable name as cartoon data characters. Cartoon data characters is equal to my original array dot filter. Inside this, let me pass data. And here what I want to access, data dot famous character. Famous character is nothing but an array. And inside array, we are having this includes method. To check if this element is present inside the array. What element I have to check? I have to check Doraemon. Let me check the spelling. Yes, it is same. So from first object, I am checking. I am checking if this Doraemon is including or not. If it is yes, it will be added. If it is no, it will be filtered out. Let me just log this. Save it. Now I am having two objects, ID2 and ID3. Inside ID3, I am having Doraemon. Inside ID2, I am having Doraemon inside this array. But inside ID1, I am not having. Now here if I just write here Doraemon, save it, then all the three IDs will be displayed. But I do not want. Let me remove this. So I am having two objects. So using this filter method, this is my final array. Now on this array, this is my complete new array. Now on this array, I have to apply map method to access this created by property. And whenever we are applying map method, again, final array should be having the same length. Okay, let me keep this. I will just copy. I will copy again. Okay, basically, we are chaining the methods. I will paste. Now, this is my final array. I will remove. I will be using dot map. Again, I will be passing this argument callback function. Inside this, what I have to access, data dot created by. Save it. Now you can see I am having array and I am having two elements. Length is same. First one I am having this. Second one also I am having this because I have copy pasted. So for third, let me just write this one. Save it. I will be getting that result. It is very simple. We can easily change the method and we can get the result. Now suppose this is my array. Inside this array, I am having object. Now if you want whatever result you are getting, if you want in the same structure, that is array, inside that you should be having object in this way. This also you can easily perform. Let me copy. And inside this I am going to paste. So what I will be doing, this is my map method and using this I am accessing this created by property. So first what I will be doing, I will just wrap inside this curly braces. Okay, now this will be returning my object. After this, I will be using this return keyword. Again, whenever we are using this return keyword, I'm just wrapping inside another curly braces. Then this is nothing but this is an object. Let me just bring this down. This is an object. Inside this, I am just returning this data. But for object, we should be having this property colon. So I will copy this, and here I am just going to paste property, and after this, whatever data I am accessing, that data will be assigned to this created by property. Save it. Now inside this array I am having two objects. So first I will be having created by, and second I will be having created by, and the data will be displayed. Okay, I hope you are clear with filter method, and also you understood how to chain methods. Now this will be assignment for you. I will be pasting this array inside comment box. You can copy and just apply filter and map method, and accordingly you should be getting the result. First, you should check if the marks are greater than 30, you should access that. After that, you should be taking this first and last name from this object, and it should be having the same structure array. Inside that, you should be having the object. Okay, so this will be the assignment. Just practice this. Do not copy from anywhere. Once you are able to understand filter method and also how to chain methods, then you will be very comfortable in using these methods in your concepts. That's all for this lecture. Thank you for watching.